Testing, testing. Still doing it, huh? Testing, testing. Stack. It's gotta be on the computer. I heard it when Cash was teaching. Yeah, that's right. Hold on. Shut the microphone. The
Testing, testing. Okay, that's better. Still chopping. Testing 1 2. Okay, talk to the microphone.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Okay, that sounds way better. Need a microphone though. Yeah, I'm gonna need it. Gonna need another one. Let me see. Can we get the one from the radio room? Let me see. Testing, testing. Sound. Testing, testing. Okay, that sounds way better. Okay. Slack it for anybody that's tuning in. You have to bear with us. We're live right now on the Hollywood Israelites page. There's no longer cord. How far does this one reach? Let's see. That's that. Testing, testing. Oh, that's better. All right, Salagi, we're trying to get the sound right. All right, Shalom Yabashim Shabrakatham to the brothers, Shalom Yahal Shemal Bashim Yahshai to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander General Yohana, we've been teaching the truth about the Bible, and that is that all so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in the Western Hemisphere are God's chosen people. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and Esau, who is your colonizer today, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So, with that being said, uh, there's a lot of things that are going on today, right? I'm pretty sure everybody's already heard about it. There's a Shalom Lord Christ out of one. We got Priest Nelson Shabal in the building. So there's a lot of things going on lately, right? But it seems to be the same topic over and over again. It's imagery, representation. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen it. believe her name is Halle or Haley Bailey, who's a celebrity, and she's now playing in the new Little Mermaid. This just shows you that your oppressor will never ever love you, because this is a sister who's playing a fictional character. This is a fish, okay? This is a fictional Disney character, and the things that they are saying about this sister is just absolutely absurd. But it goes a little deeper than that, right? I know we're probably thinking, okay, well, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. We're going to be talking about a few things. One is that the Lord wants separation. The Lord has always wanted separation amongst the different nations of people, right? We were never supposed to integrate. Integration was one of the worst decisions that we have ever made as a people, on top of many other things. Okay, we'll be talking about how General Muhammad actually brought this up in a class. The Nigerians, right? They're doing something that some people may overlook, but it's actually very important. I don't want to give it away just yet. We'll read some scriptures before we get to that. But the topic today is going to be the importance of imagery and representation and the whitewashing that our oppressors have continued to do to us, and the fact that separation is key. Separation is key. People will call you racist because you a black person that loves other black people. You're a Latino that only loves other Latinos, right? They'll sit here and call you racist. But here's the thing. Why don't they say that to other nations of people? The Asians and the Chinese, they can come here and have their own communities. Nobody calls them racist because they don't like white people. They don't like black people. No one says anything to the Indians, not Native Americans, actual Indians, as in from India, East Indian, South Indian, et cetera, et cetera. The Arabs, all right, the Africans, the real Africans, not black people in America. Yes, we know that Judah and the southern tribes traveled to West Africa, but we just migrated there. The real inhabitants of the land are predominantly Hamites. There might be some brothers and sisters over there too, but it's predominantly Hamites, right? Point is, the Lord wants separation. Once we get into this melting pot, which we know as today as America, it's an issue. And we're going to talk about some of the issues today. Before we get started with the class, you got anything you want to say now, Isupk?
No, not for the intro.
All right, so we'll just get it on and cracking then. All right, so with that being said, Madium, just me and the brother up here.
La Yasharala.
Madiam Apan Yahakwadam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. We'll be getting started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered. We'll be getting started with the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'ah, Tzaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Adonanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak now, Kabawath now, Kasalak now, Kabawath now, Wala'ah, Tabayah now, Banasaiwan, Ball, Pawashai now, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka,
Laka,
Hamalakwa,
Hamalakwa,
Waha'ala,
Waha'ala,
Wakapara,
Wakapara,
Wawalamya,
Wawalamya,
Amon.
The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our
Our
Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom
Thy
come.
will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
As
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us
But deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Babakasha.
Babakasha.
Atatmanaw.
Atatmanaw.
Hakak.
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 Larapa'ah.
Larapa'ah.
Kol.
Kol.
Makala.
Makala.
Wakol.
Wakol.
Madawa.
Madawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Ha.
Ha.
Matazariah.
Matazariah.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakwayim.
Lahakwayim.
Hamathim.
Hamathim.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Rakawath.
Rakawath.
Atama'ala.
Atama'ala.
Garshan.
Garshan.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Or water.
Or water.
Amen.
Amen. Hakak, the power in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the
The
leper.
power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
Cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Me'aka'ala.
Wa Me'aka'ala.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Tazab Ya'ah.
Tazab Ya'ah.
Alawat Yahana.
Alawat Yahana.
Ha'alawapyim.
Ha'alawapyim.
Hasaranyim.
Hasaranyim.
Hakwatazayoyim.
Hakwatazayoyim.
Hakayayoyim.
Hakayayoyim.
Waha'akwafyim.
Waha'akwafyim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Amen.
Amen. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it. So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayunya.
Ayunya.
All. Haharyim.
Haharyim.
Mayun.
Mayun.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azoria.
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 Ma'aim.
Ma'aim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Maisha.
Maisha.
Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
All.
All.
Yathan.
Yathan.
Bamawat.
Bamawat.
Bagolka.
Bagolka.
All. Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Yad.
Yad.
And Yamka.
And Yamka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Yashamarka.
Yakol.
Yakol.
Rai.
Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Napashka.
Napashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'afka.
Taza'afka.
Wabawa'afka.
Wabawa'afka.
Maida.
Maida.
Wa'ai.
I will. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth
Shall
Israel
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve
From
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth
And even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
All. Damayah. Laka.
Laka.
All. Fakarash.
Fakarash.
All. Tashakwach.
Tashakwach.
All. Kaya.
Kaya.
Hana. will Yabyaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, I'll, Amaka, Ya'ayamwa, Sawada, Waida, Tazawa, I'll, Tazapawanyaka, Amoa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Tazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wa, Yashama Alyum, Awa'aba, Wahagorium, Gabor, Wamawan, Wamalat, Palashath, Amishabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hiawa, Zorawai, Labunya, Lawat, Salat, Aisha, Lahum, Kamudyam, Kasaya, Sara'a, Kayabyan, Banakor, Kwayashwan, Nashad Marwa, Bayam, Dara, Hiawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kairab, Kazab, Kazabak, Wakatazormanai, Kol, Nasa Yakamwa, Mashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Af, Nawath, Alahayim, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Bapunya, Roaka'a, Ka'ash, Taba'ira, Ya'ira, Wa, Talahaba, Talahat, Harayum, Kun, Tharadama, Basa'iraka, Babasa, Wapathka, Tabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyahum, Palawan, Waya, Kwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ayai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Daiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Alyuwan, it's like alcohol. Ha'aratiza.
Psalm 33 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo,
Thy
thy enemies make a tumult.
enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee, have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up their
They
head.
have taken crafty
They have
counsel
taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted. Against thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden
They have
ones.
said.
They have said,
Come.
Come.
And let us cut them off.
And let us cut them off.
And be a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
In the name of Israel.
May be no more remembered.
Maybe no more remembrance.
They have consulted together.
For they have consulted together
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
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 The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab. And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Gabal.
Gabal.
And
Ammon.
Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
A sword also was joined with them.
A sword also was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah. Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Zaid.
Like Zaid.
Yea. All their princes as Zabah.
All their princes as Zabah.
And as Zalmunna.
And as Zalmunna.
Who said, let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of God in possession.
The houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a
As
wheel.
a stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burns the wood.
And as the flame set the mountain on fire.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Lord.
O Lord.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled.
In trouble.
Forever.
Forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
and
perish,
perish.
and they may know
That men may know
that thou, whose name alone
that name is home
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High,
art the Most High
over
over all the earth.
Calling up priest and officer 5,000 Yawasop. So Elijah.
Yahweh ban Yahweh ban Yashala.
Yawasop ban Yahweh ban Yasharala.
Yahba Shem Yashabarakatham.
Yahaba Shem Yahshua Barakatham. Genesis 11 and 1. So we're going to be reading out of the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1. We're going to be reading a little bit about the Tower of Babel, right? Because as we stated before, the Most High always wanted separation. Yeah, we don't have the ancient. So.
Oh no, man.
Yeah, no. Somebody else has it. So yeah, we'll be reading out of the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1 in the Hebrew. We'll do the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we'll give the breakdown in the English. So yeah, you'll start from Genesis 11, chapter 1, and the first 7 verses will be in the Hebrew.
Okay, go ahead.
No, so like this. Oh no, that's okay. That's the vibe. So, Nazar, you want to read the Syrian and then he reads in the English?
Yeah. $11 and 1.
11 and 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 11 and verse 1. Ya'ah, yaha, salaki. Yaha, kala ya, rana, shapaha, akata, wada bara yum, dayum, ya ha ya, kaba, kanata, kanata, makwa dama, waya ma taza awa, bakwa ha, ba'a, Rana, Shana Ira, Waya Sha, Bawa, Sham, Waya Aya Sha, Alaya, Ra'ai, Hawa, Habaha, Nala Ba, Naha, La, La, Laba Na Yum, Wana Sha, Rapaha, Lasha Rapaha, Wata Aya, Laham, Hala Banaha, Baza, Kamar, Hayaha, Laham, Amar, Waya Mara Habaha, Ba Naba Naha, Yala Nawa, Aya Ra, Wamaga Dala, Sha'a, Basha Mayam, Wana I Shaha Ya Na Nawa, Sham Paza Ya Ba Napa Wana, Ila Yapa Naya, Kala, Rana, Waya Rada, Waha, Lara Ataya, Ataya, Ayara, Wa'ata, Garala, Ashara, Banaya, Bum, so like a Ha'adam, Waya Mara, Yaha Waha, Haza, I'm Achada, Washa Paha, Achata, Labalam, Wazaha, Hatalam, I Shawata, I ha Yabatazara, Mahan, Kala, Ashar, Yazama, La I Shabata, ha, naradaha, wana balaha, sham, shapatatam, ashara, la'a, yashamai, Yashma'ai, Ayasha, Shapata, Hawa.
That's it. All right, most high in Christ. All right, so now we'll be reading the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1 in the English.
You said what?
Genesis chapter 11, verse 1 in the English.
Okay. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which children of man builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
Okay, so we can stop right there for now. So we're reading, right? So in the beginning, it says, the whole earth had one language. Everybody understood each other, right? But then as we continue to read, it says that the Lord, Slacky, let's go, could you reread verse 7?
Come, go to, let us go down, and there confound their language.
So it says to confound their language. So confound can be also translated to like confuse their language, right? And it says that they may not understand one another's speech. So we all understood each other at one point, but then the Lord, you can see right here, many times throughout the Bible, the Most High wants some type of division, okay? That's why y'all got to get out of these Christian churches. Christians will continue to teach this false doctrine of we can all come together. No.
Right.
We as Israelites, God's chosen people, the 12 lost tribes of Israel, we are supposed to come together. Not with everybody else. Like we stated before, all these other nations, when they come to America or anywhere for that matter, it doesn't just have to be America. It doesn't just have to be America. Any other descendants of people, they can go somewhere and function with their people. The Asians can function with the Asians. Like they got a little Tokyo in LA. Everywhere you go, there's a Chinatown or a little Koreatown or something, right? Nobody their own issues, right? Make sure the sound is still playing.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, what happened? Yeah, it was frozen on there. Okay, there we go. But yeah, it's not to say that other nations don't have their own issues. Like, other nations have their issues, but the thing is they reside with their people. Like growing up, this is my own personal experience. Growing up, we had a lot of East Indians that lived amongst us, right? The East Indians hung out with the East Indians. They spoke their language. They had their culture. No one bothered them. It was fine. Okay. Now they were cordial. You can be cordial with them, whatever. But they knew who their people were, and they chose to side with their people. No one attacks East Indians and tells them, well, you guys are being racist because you guys only want to hang out with each other. You guys only want to speak your language. You don't accept everybody in your communities. You're racist. No one says that. But who do they say that to? So-called blacks, natives, and Latinos in all these different countries. It's not just America, okay? So the thing is, they want you. Your oppressor, don't get it twisted. The oppressor wants you to integrate. I know that might throw off some people because you're probably wondering, well, doesn't Edom hate us? Don't these other nations hate us? Yes, they do hate you. They hate you so much they want you to hate yourself by loving them. Once you know how black people do. What black people like to say? They always say, they got that one cool white friend. They be like, hey, he got the black card. You invited to the cookout, Steve. Right. Or I know a lot of our Latino brothers and sisters. Oh, you invited to the carne asada. You know that we say that all the time to our oppressors. Like, oh, you know what? You actually cool. You can come hang out with us. Y'all got to stop doing it. There's no such thing as a black card. Y'all shouldn't be handing out black cards to oppressors and heathens. Okay, that's resided for us. That's our problem. We want to invite everybody, but even here, it says that the Lord wanted to confound the language. We all spoke one language, but the Lord was like, nope, y'all gotta cut that out. You got anything you want to say, Najazah, before we continue?
Man, I was gonna get a preset, but what everything that's being said is heavy because people think because of, you know what I mean, so we can get to like Alexander the Great or Greek, okay, but like situations like that are just people who are oppressing you, putting you in a situation where you feel like you're supposed to be together. I mean, you're supposed to be one. Like, really, it's just oppression, and you don't really know it. There's always going to be somebody over you, but at the end of the day, Israel's supposed to be the one that's supposed to be ruling. Israel's supposed to be the one that rules this planet, right. And us wanting to be conjoined with everybody's cultures and ways of living and all that stuff like that. That's what got us into this mess in the first place. Right. It was Eve who wanted to, you know what I mean, find different knowledge on different cultures. You know what I'm saying? And what happened with that situation? You know what I'm saying? We sit over here and we're cursed ever since then. You know what I'm saying? It's always Israel who wants to, you know what I mean, how can I say, dabble into, you know what I mean, strange people's cultures. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we left Egypt, what do? You know what I mean, build a golden calf, because we couldn't leave that mentality of thinking that, you know what I mean, the people who oppressed us really didn't really have it that bad. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we feel a little bit of discomfort, we tend to want to go to different people and cultures and try to confide to them. And you know what I mean? As soon as we feel a little bit discomfort. So, you know what I mean? It's important to know that the vision is being taught throughout the whole Bible. You know what I'm saying? Is the prophecy is meant for, if I can, I want to get that precept. When Christ is speaking that he's going to come, when Christ comes back, the prophecy when Christ returns, and he's going to be, you know what I mean, split everybody up into their, you know what I mean, everybody's going to be divided into their own separate, you know what I mean, lands and groups. Like the kingdom is just going to be meant for Israel. Not saying that there's not going to be heathens there having to work. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be heathens there that are going to have to build it. But at the end of the day, the Lord wants us to be separated completely. He wants us to have our own holy days. That's what the word holy means. It means separate. You know what I'm saying? So division is taught throughout the whole Bible, and people look at how we live today in America or in just this ways in general, where you see all these different colors and cultures of people all living in one place. It's not really meant for that. You know what I mean? Because when we live amongst heathens, we tend to want to do as the Romans do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Most High doesn't want us to do.
Right. And if I may, real quick, right before we continue, I wanted to bring up something. General Muhammad actually brought this out not that long ago. So the Nigerians. Now let's make something very clear, right? Because I've gotten these comments quite a bit. You know, people questioning the 12 tribes chart. I want to make something very clear. The 12 tribes chart is just a general location of what majority of our brothers and sisters are. There are Black people in China. Little do y'all know, we have schools out in the UK. And the UK is not on the 12 tribes chart. That should let you know that we know that there are other Israelites on other continents and other places. Okay, there's Latinos in the UK. There's Latinos in Japan. People don't know that. Okay, because you've been in America your whole life. So we understand that there are Israelites. We're scattered abroad. We're everywhere. Okay, that's in the Bible. Now, with that being said, General Hyman brought this out not that long ago. Nigeria, right? Obviously, yes, Africa is predominantly populated by Hamites, but we know that there are some Israelites there as well. So what Nigeria did, they have officially banned white people for representing them, like on all their commercials and stuff like that. They just want just their people, everything. They just want their people. They want their people represented in their movies, in their shows, in their commercials. That's it. And now, what some people are saying is, oh, well, that's racist. I'll be honest, I don't think that's racist at all. Because what the Nigerians are doing, they see what's going on with the children of Israel in America, in South America, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all over the place, right? And they see that representation is very, very powerful. Growing up, predominantly most of the superheroes that we all know and love, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, all this other stuff, they're usually white. So as a child, when you grow up seeing Caucasian people in positions of power, leading, being brave, being the savior, and being so righteous, so to speak, subconsciously you're going to think that they are superior. Now, why is that? Because I'm not Caucasian. The brothers next to me, they're not Caucasian. We're not Edomites. But all we see is Edomites being on top of, in power.
Right.
And when we get represented in media, how are we betrayed? The only time we're successful, you got to be a basketball player. You got to do sports. You got to be a rapper. You got to, when we're in movies, we're always playing a gangster role or something like that. We a thug, we in a gang, whatever. Okay? And it's not just black people, Latinos as well, too. Y'all see all these different movies about the cartel and, all this other stuff, right? Now there's, of course, the worldwide stereotype that all Latinos sell drugs and they're part of the cartel, when that's not true. It's always a negative stereotype. And don't even get me started with sisters. They love to humiliate our sisters all the time. And sadly, our sisters today think that is good representation. Perfect example. We talked about this, I think it was like a week or two ago, the new She-Hulk episode that came out like sometime. And Meg Thee Stallion was in it. I don't know why, right? I don't know what the show had anything to do with Meg Thee Stallion, right? But here is she's a sister, right? This is a so-called black woman or African-American woman that lives in America. And in there, her form of representation was her twerking. People don't understand, like when other people see us, even when we see us, they think that that's us because that's how we're always represented. A brother brought this up not that long ago in a video that I seen. When there was the earthquake in Haiti, this was years ago, the earthquake in Haiti, the news reporters went all down there and they recorded everything. And you see our Levite brothers and sisters, I mean, they going through hell, all right? You see dead bodies, people homeless, starving, half naked, like, they're being represented as being weak, all right? Just like how they were represented as being weak when they migrated to Mexico or trying to get through Mexico. But he said something that stuck out to me. Every single time something happens to white people, they never want to show them being weak. Like, you might see the destruction and stuff, but they're not going to show you the dead bodies.
Right.
They're not going to show you them suffering because that shows vulnerability. They don't want you to see them vulnerable, but they want to see you vulnerable, and they want you to see yourself as being vulnerable. And this is one of the problems with us wanting to integrate and wanting to be like everybody else, because these other people, they do not love you. They don't. They want you to think of yourself as lesser than, or you are weak. That's what people really don't understand. We think that wanting to be like the Caucasians and everybody else, we like to drop the I'm black and be like, well, I'm just American, in hopes of thinking, oh, Salakia, before we read any more verses, I got one more thing I want to bring up. Salakia. The running joke, Salakia to my Simeonite brothers and sisters, of I know black, I Dominican. I've heard this since I was a kid. And it's funny because other Dominicans have made this joke. And sometimes it's this idea of if you identify with your nationality, then people will not see you for what you are. That's why a lot of Afro-Latinos and Latinos, when they come to the States, they think by saying, well, I'm Panamanian, I'm Brazilian, I'm Dominican, Puerto Rican, I'm this, I'm that. They think that that removes them from being like us. When sadly, let me tell you right now, we know you're Haitian, we know. But when you come here, the oppressor's gonna look at you just like how they see us. We're American because we're born in America. Okay, that's cool. That doesn't change anything. We're still the same people. The only difference is a boat stopped during the slave trade and we had to make do with what we had. That's why you see so-called African Americans, we have our own way of like culture, our own type of music. But the Dominicans, they have their own type of music. Brazilians, they have their own type. Puerto Ricans, like different variations of us, but we are all the same people. And everybody else notices this except us. So we'll say, well, no, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Cuban. Meanwhile, they look like us. People, you don't understand it. And the reason why, and this isn't my words, other Latino brothers and sisters have called this out. The reason why is because you are hoping that when you come here and when the oppressor sees you, they'll think, oh, well, he's not black. He's Panamanian. Okay, he's different. He's not like the rest of them. Oh, he's Dominican. Okay, he's not like the rest of them. We're all the same. We're all the same, okay? And that just shows the inner hatred that we have for each other. We want to be like everybody else, but we don't want to be with each other. That's self-hatred, okay? But the Lord wanted division from the get-go. This is in Genesis. Genesis is what? The beginning. This is in the beginning.
And if I could,
Go ahead, sir.
What you're bringing out is so heavy because, like, when you say that we want to be, we don't want to gather, like, blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans never want to gather with niggas and Mexicans and vice versa and Native Indians, right? But you know who we would gather with?
Go ahead, sir.
Caucasian people, the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Eat them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like we would gather with them rather than gathering with ourselves. So that just proves that it's something going on with us coming together. It's somebody stopping us from actually coming together as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So that's all I wanted to say.
Sir. If I may, let's see. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 11. We'll stay here. We'll go to verse 8, if I could, sir.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 8. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth.
So it's scattered. See, separation. Keep going, sir.
And they left off to build the city. Therefore, verse 9, therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad, the face of all the earth.
So again, scatter. Don't say unite. It don't say everybody become one. We all spoke the same language at one point. Everybody, but the Lord wanted division. And you gotta remember, this is in Genesis. This is in the beginning of everything. From the beginning, the Lord wanted division. And it said that, therefore, is the name of it called Babel. So now so I'm gonna read real quick what Babel means in the Hebrew.
And if I could, real quick. And also what you brought out was heavy because, like, this was in the beginning. So, and then also, the scripture says the Lord changes not. So, like, you think he gonna change? Nah, he ain't changed.
Right.
So from the beginning to the end, he stayed the same.
Right.
That's in the Bible.
Right, sir. If I could, so I'm gonna read the definition of Babel. So it says Babel or Babylon equals confusion. So the Lord wanted confusion between the languages so that we could not understand each other anymore. The Lord was already sowing division, as we stated before, in Genesis, in the beginning. If I could I get the book of Genesis chapter 6? If I could, sir. Yeah. Not as like, I know you said you wanted to bring out a precept.
Oh yeah, I got that.
If you want to bring it out now.
So what you guys were saying is heavy, like from beginning to end. So now we have a prophecy that's written in the Bible for when Christ returns. So this hasn't even happened yet, but this is still talking about the division between the Lord's people and people just going into their own, territories with their own people. Right. You know what I'm saying? But this is the book of Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 31. And it says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another.
Damn.
As a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats.
So you mean to tell me that Yahushua is going to cause division when he comes back?
Right.
That's crazy. But I thought Christ loved everybody. I thought whosoever believed in Christ, we can all come together, right? But multiple times throughout the Bible, you see it again and again. The Lord wanted division. Christ is about division. And if I may, sir, let's go back even further in the beginning. So Genesis chapter 6. If I could you read verse 1, sir?
Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass, when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters was born unto them. Verse 2, that the sons of God saw the daughters of man, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
Now, if I could real quick, this goes over a lot of people's heads. Of course, here in the truth, we understand what this means. So it says that the sons of God saw the daughters of men. Well, what's the difference that we're seeing right here? We're seeing that there was a certain lineage of men under the Most High that saw the daughters of men, not the daughters of God, the daughters of men. There's a difference. Even before, in the beginning, the Most High wanted a division. The daughters of men, well, who are these men? These are heathens, okay? These are what we call strange women, okay? And the sons of God, not the sons of men, the sons of God saw them and said that they were fair, meaning that they were beautiful, right? Now, if I may, let's read what happens when we commit these acts, when we choose to integrate with everybody else. If I could, sir, could you read verse 3?
Verse 3, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with men, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
Slakia, drop that. Can we go to verse 5? Slakia, that's one of them.
Verse 5, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was evil continually.
Keep going, sir.
And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
Can we keep going?
And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
So the Lord was pissed, just to put it lightly. The Lord was pissed because it came, you got to understand, it came to a point that the Most High was actually starting to regret, like, damn, I shouldn't have made them like this. Like, I gotta go ahead, sir.
And also, it's so deep, right? That's why he even saved the animals, because he repented on the animals, right? Because it said like even the animals. You see what I'm saying? So like, he was like, I'm gonna give them all a second chance. You know what I'm saying? To do right. You know what I'm saying?
Right, sir. Like, and it's so heavy because it's like you'll see other people who will read the Bible with no understanding. They will constantly tell you, but we can all come together. We can all come together. Okay, if that was really true, if we could all come together, then why is there so many problems in integrated communities? Whenever we integrate with each other, there's always a problem. Always a problem. The racial slurs start coming out. People start getting violent, hate crimes, racial wars, whatever you want to call it. We try. Look at American history alone. Just American history. Black people have tried to integrate with white people. We've tried. You can't blame us for not wanting to anymore. We have tried. And what did Caucasian Americans do to black people in America? You lynched us. You tarred and feathered us. You hosed us down in the middle of the streets. You bombed our schools. You decimated Black Wall Street. There is no Black Wall Street. That's people. A lot of people don't even know about Black Wall Street anymore. They think it's a myth. That's sad. It was over 300 bodies that were destroyed, but they only have about, I think, maybe 3 or 5 graves to represent those bodies. So some of those people, they never even got a proper burial. They're just you got it? Okay. But go ahead, sir.
And also, what's so heavy about this, right? What happened, but you know what I'm saying, after, you know what I'm saying, the Black Wall Street and all those things, right? Integration came, right? With Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
and things like that, right? What happened though? After we integrated into them, what happened? So it got torn down because we tried to you know, get with them. So the Lord destroyed that too. The Lord destroyed that too. Because we try to go into their business and then we end up getting destroyed.
Right.
We end up getting destroyed, just like the Tower of Babel, because we're trying to join hands with the enemies, man. We're trying to join hands with the enemies.
Gone, sir. And the thing is, you see it multiple times throughout. Like we were just talking about it before we got here. You know, our Gadite brothers, you know, so-called Native Americans, North American Indians as well. We were cool with each other when we were brought on slave ships, right? And they were oppressing not just black people; they were also oppressing the natives. The natives helped rescue us from these plantations, right? We fled to these Native American tribes and were adopted into these Native American tribes. And we actually dwelled peacefully with them. And you know what's happened? The Europeans, the Edomites, they saw that, right? You know what they did? They studied us. They said, man, these natives and these black people, their customs are very similar. They both value family. The man is always the head of the household. He seems to be like the power figure, right? You know, their wives seem to have similar customs. They saw the similarities between us. Really, it's because we're the 12 lost tribes, but some of them, keyword, did not know that, but they still saw us as these people are very alike.
Right.
We got to do something about that. So what did they do? You had some black people who were so destroyed that they were a part of what you would know as today the Buffalo Soldiers. And the Buffalo Soldiers were used by white Americans to invade into Native American tribes. All right. These were black people that turned sadly on Native Americans, and vice versa. The Europeans influenced the Native Americans to partake in chattel slavery of black people. Now, people always bring up this history, right? But they never get to why this happened. They never talk about the Black Indians. They never talk about the Seminole Indians. They never talk about the unions that black people and Native Americans had with each other before the Europeans got involved. They only tell you about the bad part because they want you to know about the bad part. They want the tribes to segregate. And you still see the effects of it today. I still see some Gadite brothers and sisters who don't like black people because they remember the Buffalo Soldiers. Now they think, oh, you know, you guys are against us. And then vice versa, I see a lot of black people or black Americans who say, well, we don't like the Native Americans because you own some of my people as slaves. But when you really get to the nitty gritty of it, why did this happen? Because of European influence. And you see, they want the tribes to split up. Why you think they dropped you off in different ports during slavery? All right, even the natives. Everybody thinks that natives only live in North America. I don't know why. Natives are everywhere. You got the South American natives. You got Central American natives who are actually Mexicans. They just got labeled as Mexican or they got labeled as Latino. Some people think that all Mexicans are Spaniard. You obviously never been to the southern parts of Mexico because a lot of our brothers and sisters down there, they're a lot darker, okay? And they look more like how they used to pre-colonization. You talk about the Tainos. The Tainos were all through the Caribbean islands. They were through Puerto Rico. A lot of them still dwell in South America. They were in the Dominican Republic. They were in Jamaica. They were in Haiti. They were in Trinidad and Tobago. They don't talk about that stuff. They don't talk about that stuff. They don't talk about how they got the natives on slave ships as well. We know, but the average person does not know because they want division between our people, but that's not what's supposed to happen. And when we choose to integrate, like we said, I'll give it like 5 more minutes in class. But because we choose to integrate with these other people, we're continuing to be oppressed. And the last thing I wanted to bring up, of course, the whole Halle Bailey thing. Okay, so Little Mermaid. It's a fictional character. It's a Disney movie. Yes, we all know that Ariel was white. We know, right? I'll be honest with you. I don't care what color a fish is. I could care less. The trailer could have came out and she could have been Korean. It could have been a Korean fish for all I know. I don't care. Like you feel like I don't care. However, here's the thing. This is to show how hypocritical Esau really is. Think of all the movies that they've had where they got a white person to play someone of another race. I got one for you. What was it? Tropic Thunder? What was it? Robert Downey Jr. He was in blackface.
Right.
Nobody talks about that. They got a Caucasian man to play a black man, right? Yeah. And then you see like, okay, we're not Asian, but just to throw this out there too, they do this with other people. There's been a lot of Asian-based movies. I can't remember all the names, but it's supposed to be of like a Japanese samurai or something like that. They got a white dude in there. Right. The whole cast is Asian, and you got one white boy in there playing the savior. He's the hero, right? And don't even get me started on Yahushua. Well, that's probably one of the biggest lies I've ever put. I got Caesar Borgia up there talking about that's Christ when he does not fit that. And it's already been identified that he's a fake Messiah. But no one wants to talk about that. But Lord forbid we got a black fish. Now it's a problem. Now you see all these white people who are coming out and saying that, well, it's not right. I seen it not that long ago on Facebook. They have Christians against the Little Mermaid or boycott Halle Bailey. And one of the things that they said was, we cannot change what we have already known. This is misrepresentation for us. And I sat there and I'm like, the Caucasity, because that's exactly what you did to us. We changed a fictional character. You changed real people throughout history. But now, y'all get to have a taste of what we've been going through. Now you see somebody, a fish at that, that was supposed to represent you. White skin, red hair, blue eyes, all this stuff. You saw somebody that looked like you and you had a connection with that. Now, this person does not look like you anymore. Now you're upset because you could identify with this character because that was, quote unquote, your people. I'll be honest with you. I'm so happy that white people are mad at this because now you get a taste of what the children of Israel have been going through for hundreds, thousands of years. You have whitewashed our history. And then when we confirm that, oh no, this is one of us, you tell us, oh, well, no, that's not true. Like they try to say King James is white. Go ahead, sir.
But if I may,
go ahead.
Like how see the so-called Caucasians and things like that, Edom, they already was like mad at the fact that everything was black. That's why they whitewashed everything. So now that we even try to whitewash a little simple fictional character, character, they outraged because it's getting back to the basics. But like I feel like they feel like you say they feel what we have been feeling for years. Centuries and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But like, and then also like that's why they whitewashed everything. Because they was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? They kids was growing up thinking that they wasn't nothing.
Right. Right.
and things like that. And now they don't understand why we feel the way we feel.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Like getting back to the representation before we close the class, it's the representation. Like you said, the roles were flipped once upon a time ago. Their children were growing up and seeing all these dark-skinned people that were in charge.
Yeah.
And you got to think like, damn, mommy and daddy, like, that ain't us.
Right.
That ain't us. Why are we at the bottom?
Right.
So now they had to, like you said, whitewash everything because they understand how powerful representation is. Like, people watch a TV show. Kids are very impressionable. Okay, I seen so many videos of little black girls in America who, for the first time, seeing the trailer of I don't know if it's Haley or Halle, but Halle Bailey playing Little Mermaid, and you should see the excitement on their faces. They're like, "Mommy, that's us. Like that's me. That's me. She's brown like me." Like they losing their minds, but that just shows like the representation is important. It's very important. And before we close the class, because the movie ain't come out yet, it's a movie. But getting back to the representation, the interracial marriage, a lot of times now you see a black woman with a white man, or vice versa. You see black man with a white woman every single time. Again, pushing that agenda of you should like this. So now when our kids grow up and they see that Spider-Man got a black girlfriend, I'm gonna assume that in this movie, Ariel is gonna have a white boyfriend. I'm just gonna assume. I'll be shocked if it's something else. But they're gonna grow up seeing that and think like, oh, well, that's how things are supposed to be. So they're gonna grow up thinking like, oh, okay, I should get with a white man, or I should get with a white woman, because Esau understands how powerful representation is. Just like how I brought up earlier, the Nigerians, they don't want white people showing representing them at all. They said, no, we're canceling all of that. We only want Nigerians representing Nigerians. That's it. And that should show, because they, at least I'll give them this much. At least they're wise enough to understand, like, okay, yeah, we see what's going on in America with them. So let's not allow for that to happen over here. Just saying that. And yes, I understand. I want to make something very clear, because I know somebody might try to take what I'm saying out of context when they see this video.
Right.
I ain't saying Nigerians are Israelites. There might be some of us over there. I'm not saying that there ain't. But what my point being is, other people who are non-Israelites are also noticing how powerful representation is. That's why they only want their people representing their people, because they know what's going to happen to them, because they see what's going on with us. They don't want to be in the same state as us. That's all I got for that. Before we end the class, it's 11:30. So, you got anything not to say before we end?
Yeah, real quick. I just want to read Jeremiah. Jeremiah 10 and 2. The book of Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2 says, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." So we have to really mentally and spiritually take ourselves out of the American dream and the American way, and following the ways of being in this melting pot and everybody being one and conjoining together and all serving the same nation and the same God. Like, we have a specific God. We have a holy God, a separate God. We have a separate power, and we have separate ways of living, a separate culture. So it's really like detrimental that we start to understand exactly how great we are as a people, and stop worrying about what is going on as far as what people feel about us or what they think about us.
Right.
As you see right now with this whole thing about what the brother was talking about that movie, it's not about the character. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the character. It's not about how they feel about the skin color of the character. It's just about the simple fact that, like, if she was like a Spaniard, they wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying?
They care.
Like, if it was a Salma Hayek or somebody like that, like, you know what I mean? Just a straight up Spaniard, they wouldn't care. You know what I mean? It's just more so the fact that you putting black skin on one of their how can I say pioneers
Sure, yeah.
is like an insult to them.
Right.
Because that's how they feel about us. They feel like we're the scum of the earth. We're nothing. We're a bad representation of what a person should be. So that's why when they see a black skin on one of their pioneers, it could be anybody. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make it a issue and try to make it. You know how they are. They're going to make it seem as if the issue is something else because they don't want to put it all blatantly out there that they just don't want you to be black. You know what I'm saying? They don't want it to be black.
Yeah.
It's all a cover up. It's all a mental situation. It really just how they feel about us as a people. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she could have been Russian. You know what I'm saying?
She could have been anybody.
She could have had a whole Russian accent, but as long as she was still white, they wouldn't have cared.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And if I may, so I know you about to read it.
Go ahead.
If I may, I want to bring up something that an actor said, or actress, my fault. What's her name? She plays Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson. This is a white woman, right? So people were getting on her once upon a time ago because she played in some movie, I think it's like called Ghost of the Shell. Long story short, it's supposed to be like an Asian person. It's like Japanese, right? But you got a white woman that's playing a Japanese character. And her statement was, I am an actress. I should be able to play who I want. Okay, sure, no problem. Okay, so that same rule should apply to black actors and actresses. Right. They should be able to play who they want. So if Halle Bailey wants to play a fish, she about to be the best damn fish ever. Right. All right. So also you got to remember, people have to audition for that role. And it seems like she outperformed everybody else. Right. There's probably some white women that were performing for that and they didn't do it. But Salaki, that's all I got for that. But Salaki, so I know
it's just one more scripture to close it out, if I may.
Go ahead, sir.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give into his son, nor his daughters shalt thou take into thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. So, like, and you ain't even gotta have intercourse with that other nation. You just being friends with that other nation, you gonna turn away from God. You gonna turn away from your nation, man. And what's highly important is to stick with our nation, because there's a lot of black people that don't give a damn about if she's, you know what I'm saying, so-called Caucasian or so-called black or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we know that it's fictional, so it's not real. Right. So at the end of the day, it's all good. But for the most part, you still gonna, like, people in the world have to realize that, if you be around these people for so long, you're gonna be just like these people, and then you're not gonna have your own nation, and then your daughters and your sons is going to act like another race, and you're gonna be ashamed. And if you're not ashamed, you should be ashamed.
Damn right, sir. So with that, we'll close the class, the water for everybody that tuned in. So Amadium, just me and the brothers up here.
Yeah. La Yashala.
Men of Israel, gird up thy loins, prepare to salute the Torah. So, you know,
Yahweh Shem Shabrak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barak Yah.
Yah B'Hashem Yahushua Barak Yah.
Amadim upon Yah HaKodam, which means to stand and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw. Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Quadash. Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malak with Ka.
Malak with Ka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Batazaka.
Batazaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Batanganaw.
Batanganaw.
Hakam.
Hakam.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalaknaw.
Wasalaknaw.
Kabawatnaw.
Kabawatnaw.
Wasalaknaw.
Wasalaknaw.
Kabawatinaw.
Kabawatinaw.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Tabayanaw.
Tabayanaw.
Panasaiwan.
Panasaiwan.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashainaw.
Hawashainaw.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rad.
Rad.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Wa'ala.
Wa'ala.
Watapara.
Watapara.
Ma'awalamyam.
Ma'awalamyam.
Aman.
Amen. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our
As
debts.
we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our
And
debtors.
lead us not.
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us.
But deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
Hakah, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'Hashem.
Ba'Hashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Babakashah.
Babakashah.
Batanganaw.
Batanganaw.
Hakah.
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 Lapa'ah.
Lapa'ah.
Call.
Call.
Makalah.
Makalah.
Wakal.
Wakal.
Madawa.
Madawa.
Hakah.
Hakah.
Latzahar.
Latzahar.
Ha.
Ha.
Matazurayim.
Matazurayim.
Hakah.
Hakah.
Lahakwayim.
Lahakwayim.
Hamathim.
Hamathim.
Hakah.
Hakah.
Ayel.
Al.
Rakawath.
Makarath.
Fatama Allah.
Fatama Allah.
Garshan.
Garshan.
Ba'Hashem.
Ba'Hashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Amen.
The power in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Give us the
The
power.
power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of
The
disease.
power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the
The
lepers.
power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Saranyim.
Ha Saranyim.
Ha Kwatazayoyin.
Ha Kwatazayoyin.
Ha Kayayoyin.
Ha Kayayoyin.
Wa Ha'akwathin.
Wa Akwathin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'Hashem.
Ba'Hashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Amen.
The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And
the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayunya.
Ayunya.
All.
All.
Taharyam.
Taharyam.
Mayun.
Mayun.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Izoya.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayim.
Shamayim.
Wa'arataza.
Wa'arataza.
All. Yathan.
Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Magorka.
Magorka.
All. Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yashun,
Yashun,
Shawamar,
Shawamar,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazarka,
Tazarka,
Alyad,
Alyad,
Yimyamka,
Yimyamka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'a,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayarak,
Yarak,
Balayala,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Call,
Call,
Rai,
Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athna Pasha,
Athna Pasha,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza Afta,
Taza Afta,
Balawa Afta,
Balawa Afta,
Maida,
Maida,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
will
I will love. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the
From
hills.
whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My
My help cometh from the Lord,
Which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee,
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel,
Israel keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The Lord shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth
And even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Alahayim,
Alahayim,
All,
All,
Damaya,
Damaya,
Lakat,
Laka,
All,
All,
Zakarash,
Zakarash,
All,
All,
Shaquat,
Dashashwat,
All,
All,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
Awayabika,
Ayimika,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawam,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Io,
Io,
Imaka,
Imaka,
Ya'ayamwa,
Ya'ayamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Waida,
Waida,
Yatazawa,
Yatazawa,
Io,
Io,
Tazapawinika,
Tazapawinika,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Rakawa,
Wanakakida,
Wanakakidam,
Magoya,
Magoya,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum,
Shum,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Natazawa,
Natazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Baryath,
Baryath,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Ahoya,
Ayam,
Ahaya,
Ahoya,
Ahaya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa,
Wa,
Yashama Alyam,
Yashma'ayim,
Mawa Abba,
Ma'ababa,
Wahagoyim,
Ma'agoyim,
Ball,
Ball,
Waimawan,
Ma'awan,
Waimalak,
Wamalak,
Palashah,
Palashah,
Am Yashabia,
Am Yashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gum,
Gum,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Alawat,
Alawat,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawat,
Hayawat,
Zorwai,
Zorwai,
Labunya,
Labunya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Ashah,
Ashah,
Lahum,
Lahum,
Kamunyam,
Kamunyam,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kamunyam,
Kamunyam,
Manakal,
Manakal,
Koyashwan,
Koyashwan,
Nashamarwa,
Nashamarwa,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Dara,
Hayawat,
Hayawat,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayashamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yamawa,
Yamawa,
Kaira,
Kaira,
Wakaza Abba,
Kazababa,
Wakaza Ba,
Kazabak,
Wakata Zolmanan,
Katazalmanai,
Call,
Call,
Nasayakamo,
Nasayakamo,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nayarashah,
Narashah,
Lanawa,
Manawa,
Af,
Ash,
Nawath,
Nawash,
Alahayim,
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 Shayatamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Kagogala,
Kagogala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapunya,
Lapanya,
Rawaka'a,
Ragawa,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Taba'ira,
Taba'ira,
Ya'ira,
Ira,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalahaba,
Falahat,
Salahat,
Haryum,
Hayam,
Kun,
Kun,
Taradama,
Taradama,
Wasa'iraka,
Irika,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Lapafka,
Lapaka,
Tabahalam,
Tabalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Hadyaho,
Hayahab,
Qualawad,
Qualawad,
Waya,
Waya,
Papashwa,
Papashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Abashwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Bahawa,
Bahawa,
Aya,
Aya,
Waya,
Waya,
Parwa,
Aparwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Badwa,
Abadwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Iawa,
Iowa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labaka,
Labaka,
Alyawan,
Ayam,
Alcohol,
Alcohol,
Paratza.
Aratza. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace,
be not still.
and be not still.
O God.
O God,
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult,
And they that hate thee.
and they that hate thee
have lifted up their head.
and lifted up thy
And
head,
have taken crafty counsel.
and have taken captive counsel
Against thy people.
against thy people,
And consulted.
and consulted
Against thy hidden.
against thy hidden
They have
ones.
said.
They have said,
Come.
Come,
And let us cut them off.
and let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
Let the man of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
let naming no man remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
That they have consulted together
With one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They have confederate against
the
thee.
tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
And Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
The
Baal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto Sisera.
As unto Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kasan.
At the brook of Shushan.
Which perished at Endor.
When perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zaid.
And like Zaid.
And Yea.
Yeah.
All their princes as Zabah.
As their princes as Sabbath.
And as Amunah.
And as Amunah.
Who said, let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to
The
ourselves.
houses of God in possession.
The houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As a stubble before the wind.
As the sun was on the wind.
As a fire burns the wood.
As the fire burns the wood.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them
with thy tempest.
with thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Lord.
O Lord.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled.
And troubled.
Forever.
Forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That
thou,
thou, whose name alone.
the name alone
Is Yahweh.
is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
For all the earth.
For all the earth.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.